just left. We stayed at in between Creede and Lake City last night. Nice campground that had a nice little stream by it. Now we're starting to head our way up Cinnamon Pass. What we're going to do today is take Cinnamon Pass over to from Lake City over to Animus Forks, then Animus Forks over to Ouray. I think that's our plan for today. So beautiful day, sun shining, and right now we're at Lake San Cristobal, the big lake that's right at the base of Cinnamon Pass. Really scenic, really nice area. Alright, so everybody's really tired because we've had a busy couple of days. We're working our way up Cinnamon Pass. Now Cinnamon Pass starts off basically like a graded gravel road. The bottom of it's just very smooth. You can cruise along at a pretty good rate. Cinnamon Pass goes between Lake City, Colorado and the ghost town of Animas Forks. The entire trail is about 25 miles long and reaches elevations of around 12,600 feet. The scenery on this one starts off outstanding. It's just a really nice, really scenic area. We've got 3 others with us today. We've been camping and traveling with this group. Good group of friends for the last couple days, so we're just finishing off our trip here over Cinnamon Pass to Mineral Creek. So it's just been an awesome weekend. Well, Cinnamon Pass is part of what they call the Alpine Loop, and the Alpine Loop makes a loop from, well, depending on where you start, over towards the Silverton, Animus Forks area, and then you can go up over Engineer Pass, drop down into Lake City. And then from Lake City, you drive down the road a little bit to where Cinnamon Pass starts, and then loop back towards Animus Forks and Silverton, so you can make a nice long loop out of it. Now, the one thing is, you're allowed to ride side-by-sides OHVs on this loop, and because it's a state highway, OHVs aren't legal on a state highway, so they have a small stretch of highway that you can drive an OHV on during certain times of the year that it's legal, so you can make the entire loop. Now, we love side-by-sides, we have side-by-sides, but I will say that not a lot of other people love side-by-sides. The only people who typically love side-by-sides are the people who are driving them. Side-by-sides get a pretty bad rap driving around out here. And you can tell because when I'm driving my Jeep, most people wave back at you when you're just driving a Jeep up around the mountains. But I can say when you're driving a side-by-side that people don't really wave back at you very much. That's something I definitely noticed. Like hikers, bikers, other people in Jeeps and stuff. Not a lot of people are huge fans of side-by-sides. But me personally, I love driving them. I think they're super fun. But unfortunately, there's a lot of people who get a little out of control on them and kind of give them a bad rap. So if anybody's watching this that's going to take side-by-sides up through the Alpine Loop, just remember you're kind of being an ambassador for everybody else who drives side-by-sides, and to take it easy. You know, it's not a race course up here. You know, you can go out in the open desert and run around through all the whoops and stuff with them, but when you're up here, it's, you know, it's more relaxing. It's more like sightseeing and stuff. So just try to remind people, like, you know, take it easy. It's not a race course. I know they can go super fast, and we know what they're capable of. We have 2 Can-Am Mavericks ourselves, but you know, just try to get the word out to, like, take it easy and be a good ambassador for side-by-sides and everybody else who drives them. So we are 10 miles into Cinnamon Pass so far, and it's still just a graded gravel road. It's not like it hasn't gotten bumpier or anything yet. So the first 10 miles is pretty smooth. Up here, not very far, it'll start to get a little bit rougher. So we're starting to ascend right now, and the road's starting to turn into more of a shelf road. And not far from here is where it starts to get a little bit narrower, and where you got to be really careful passing other people, because it starts to get to be a pretty big drop off on the one side. It hasn't been too terribly busy, and I feel like this is a little smoother and a little wider since the last time I've ran this one. I don't know.
It was pretty bumpy,
Well, now this is smoothed out a bit.
It's smoothed out now, but like the last 5 miles was really bumpy when I was trying to take a nap.
I feel like this is smoother than the last time. I don't know. It's been
Look
a couple.
Look at this hole.
Yeah, that's a big hole. And I feel like it's in pretty good shape right now. I don't know, it just seems really good shape. We're right now 14 miles in, and it's kind of a shelf road, but we're past the worst of it. That's probably the sketchiest part of this road, and where if people were going really fast and not paying attention, they could go over the edge. So the higher we start to work our way up this one, the rougher it starts to get. That's pretty much, but it's not too bad. This pass isn't hard or anything. It's just long and bumpy in certain places. And it's probably one of the busier, this and Engineer are probably two of the busier places that you can go in the San Juans. So something to always consider. Once you get up to the tree line area, that's where the road definitely gets a lot rougher. The bottom part's pretty smooth and goes pretty fast. I feel like if we're gonna run blackberry stuff next week, it might be the week that we do. A couple of these places get pretty tight to pass, so I just find it's best just to wait, let people go. Give them some space. There's no sense in trying to pass on something like this.
Dad almost hit a marmot.
That marmot, that marmot ran out fast. I just narrowly missed him.
He was pretty light colored too.
He was.
He didn't really look like the regular marmot. He was pretty blonde.
I thought he was a dog at first.
Yeah. Little potty.
All right, we are at the top. All right, we are at the top of Cinnamon. We are going to start dropping down the other side towards Animas Forks, and some of the group will start going different ways because it's kind of the end of our weekend, but it's been a great, super fun weekend. Yeah, we'll head down to Animas Fork, kind of regroup there and see which way everyone's going.
That's that old ghost town, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I like that place.
Super cool. All right, we are at the top of Cinnamon. We are going to start dropping down the other side towards Animas Forks, and some of the group will start going different ways because it's kind of the end of our weekend, but it's been a great, super fun weekend. We'll head down to Animas Fork, kind of regroup there and see which way everyone's going.
That's that old ghost town, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I like that place.
Super cool. So dropping down from the top of California Pass, heading towards Animas is definitely a lot shorter. So It's a pretty short just drop down into from the top of from the top of Cinnamon. Did I say California?
Yeah, it's Cinnamon.
Yeah. So dropping from the top of Cinnamon down into Animas is definitely a lot shorter than the other side of the pass. It's a pretty quick drop just down into Animas Forks, and it's pretty smooth. This is, once again, this whole trail's been one of the entire Cinnamon Pass has been smoother than I remember it in the past. They all said it's bumpy,
still really bumpy on the way up.
but
There was a lot of those like bumps that like make the whole car sway back and forth, like those perfectly spaced rocks.
yeah, that make you sway. You know, those are the worst bumps. That when they're uneven on each side and they make you sway, kind of like whoops that are uneven. But yeah, it's been a great day. Animas Forks Jail. Oh, look at you kids. Imagine that's where they put you.
Sleep on the floor with the rats.
With the pack rats.
The first cabin was built in Animas Forks in 1873, and by 1876 the community had become a bustling mining community. At that time, the town contained 30 cabins, a hotel, a general store, a saloon, and a post office.
Jailkeeper. Can you imagine living up here back in the day?
In 1884, a 23-day blizzard inundated the town with 25 feet of snow. The residents had to dig tunnels to get from building to building.
How do you burn something right there?
Well, it's probably filled in right now. They just put a metal plate there.
This room has walls.
Yeah, this one. I think this was the only one. One of the only ones that had a bathroom. Isn't this one of the only one?
I know. Well, it doesn't have a bathroom. I think
Oh.
it's like a bedroom, like a spare bedroom. Dangerous nails.
One of these houses was like the fanciest in town because it had a
One over
bathroom.
there. It's the huge one. The
Oh, that's right.
two-story one. Remember, it has like a little like hole in the ground.
Yeah.
Where's everyone else?
These old houses are so
They
cool.
just, like dig a hole everywhere. And
What's
actually, if they lived here for 10 years, there's 10 years of poop.
Huh? Yeah, that's true. But it like breaks down.
Animas Forks is by far one of the most well-preserved ghost towns in the San Juan Mountains.
Whoa, man.
Yeah, this one has the bathroom.
Oh, this is the one with the bathroom.
It's right there. Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Look at that. Imagine going there, Ems.
This town sits at an elevation over 11,000 feet. I can't imagine spending a winter up here.
Is that Maddie upstairs, Ems?
This is the fanciest house. Besides,
This is the biggest,
besides the fact that it
fanciest
doesn't
house.
have a bathroom. If it had a bathroom, it'd be like the best, the fanciest.
Next, we're going to take California Gulch up to the top. This is going to take us up near Hurricane Pass where we can tie in with Corkscrew Gulch. This goes to a high point of nearly 13,000 feet and covers once again some absolutely amazing country. You can see here that most of the trail is above tree line as we're starting at over 11,000 feet. The views from the top are absolutely amazing. As you start to make this corner, now you look down into one of the other drainages that lead down towards Como Lake and Poughkeepsie Gulch. You can see that these roads are very narrow. They don't have any room to pass, so you have to be watching ahead and seeing if anyone's coming up around the switchback. And right here, a side-by-side starts coming up and then he pulls off to the side. Even though technically he has the right of way, I have nowhere to pull over, so he pulls off to the side. This high country road system is one of the most unique in the entire country. I can't think of anywhere else that has all these high country roads that cover so many amazing areas. Right here is a good example of a washout on this passenger side that could get you into trouble if you're not paying attention.
That's the thing about these roads, they're not hard. They have severe consequences if you screw up. There it is. We did not go to Poughkeepsie. We just decided to drop down to Lake Como, take a look at it. That area is so scenic, so pretty. Like, you can't drive by that nice blue lake with green mountains and not want to stop by there. It's such an awesome area. This area is just so beautiful. We haven't been up. We didn't come up here much last year, but when the kids were little, we used to spend even littler. We used to just drive this Jeep around up here, all these roads, just explore them. And so it's fun to get back up here because I really like this sort of thing. It's peaceful, it's relaxing.
Top of this?
Yep, we go up over this, up to the top of Hurricane, then we drop down again, and then we'll be able to start going over Corkscrew. And Corkscrew is another one of our favorite passes. It's just really scenic, a little bit smoother than some of this other stuff, but
It's dirt and trees too.
so we from Animas Forks, we took California up over. Now we went down, looked at Lake Como. Now we're going up Hurricane, and then we're gonna drop down, then take Corkscrew, and then get back to the highway.
Red Mountain.
Yep, over to Red Mountain Pass. So we're taking these shorter ones that connect everything.
Hey Maddie, do you see Corkscrew over there?
Yeah, I see it in the mountains.
It's over here? That's where we're headed?
Yeah, this area is just so awesome when we just come over the top of Hurricane, and it's 12,730 feet or something like that. And then you just see all this. And I haven't been up here in a little while, just forget how amazing these mountains are. They're so steep, so vertical, so much color.
Yeah, it's so pretty.
Taking Corkscrew Pass from this location is a huge shortcut versus dropping all the way down into Silverton and having to run the entire Red Mountain Pass, because this is going to drop us off halfway up Red Mountain Pass.
We are now heading up Corkscrew Gulch, Corkscrew Pass, Corkscrew Gulch, whatever you want to call it. And this is one of our favorite little trails up here because it's not as rough as the other ones. It's smooth. It's not too long. It's
Scenic.
yeah, it's scenic in the scenery on
There's
this one.
water.
Yeah, there's water. It's just a really nice. This is one of my favorite ones to take when we're up here. So, all right, we are getting up to the top of Corkscrew, and can't quite remember the elevation on this one. It's got to be over 12,000. But yeah, the views up here are just amazing. And
I wonder if there was a sign on this mountain that says.
the elevation.
there it is.
Oh yeah, there is a sign. But now we're gonna start dropping back down the other side, and that's probably the most unique part of this pass, is because you have these sharp switchbacks in this like red mountain, and it's just really cool looking. As you're going over the top, you feel like you're dropping off the end of the world, because it's just like straight down to this mountain valley and just a sharp shelf road. But it's so scenic at the same time, so just an absolutely amazing area. All right, we worked our way all the way down the switchbacks, went really smooth. They're in great shape, the road's in great shape, and the views were just awesome. What'd you think?
It was really nice up there. My favorite.
Yeah.
It was smooth. It was the smoothest pass that we've been on in a while.
We've been driving for 3 straight days on passes. This is day number 3. And that's definitely probably one of the smoother sections we've driven.
Yep.
So it's been a great trip. We're finishing off a 3-day camping trip. 3 days and 2 nights of camping. We went from Stony Pass to Creede, Creede to Wheeler Geologic Area. Spent the night there. Wheeler Geologic Area back to Creede. Ran the Bachelor Loop. Then went and found a camp spot over between Creede and Lake City. And today we ran Cinnamon Pass over to California. You're right, Maddie. And California up to Hurricane. And we stopped at Lake Como over there too. And now we are on Corkscrew.
Take very good care of it.
Yay, we made it all the way back. We're back down to the highway. So how'd it go? How was the trip?
It was good.
Who had fun?
Me.
We had fun doing a little tent camping.
Everybody.
It's good to get back. Rough it a little bit, huh?
Yeah, it was frozen cold.
I was cold first night. Second night.
First night was really cold. Second night wasn't bad at all. But yeah.
We teamed up together on the first night.
But we had a great time. It was an awesome trip, and I think it's good to mix it up and get back out there and do some tent camping again, because these kids had only stayed in campers up till now. So yeah, it was a great time.
Yeah.